Здравствуйте, Namaskar. You know about it that every week we are coming to meet you to speak and discuss about the path of Russian Indian friendship. In our last discussion, we mentioned about the period of 200 years before, that is in 1818, when Kolkata newspaper Digdarshan published article on Russia and particularly focusing on Peter the Great. Same time, the famous Srirampur Press also published articles on Russia, and both of them put emphasis on the personality of Peter the Great, the Russian Tsar. And later on, they also published on Catherine the Great. In Kolkata, there were Armenians even before the visit of the Britishers. They came and settled in Kolkata, and they became a part and parcel of the Kolkata's life, which you can witness even today. We are having in Kolkata Armenian college, Armenian school, Armenian church, Armenian street, and even once a few decades back we had a hockey club known as Armenian Club. However, a very intelligent person of this Armenian community living in Kolkata, Nikita Amin, he became friendly with the Indian and at the same time with the Russian people who were very much interested to get some materials, particularly books, published in Kolkata on Russia and also about some other way of cooperation. By profession, Nikita was a tradesman, but he was very fluent in Russian too. So he played the important role of interpreter and translator. And we can say today that he is one of the pioneers of the Indo Russian cultural cooperation. Because being an Armenian living in Kolkata helped immensely the interest on India in Russia. And slowly we found that some other journals, other society, they also started publishing material on the life and people of Russia. We had the Indigenous Literary Society, Calcutta School Book Society, Vernacular Society, and they started publishing materials on Russian people and Russian literature. But British rulers, they were not always very happy with it. Though there were missionaries and other people associated with the British colonial rulers. But say, for example, from the Asiatic Society and many other organizations like some other organizations like that, they started publishing or they continued publishing on different themes of Russia. Since the British colonial rulers, they didn't like it. As we witness today about the misinformation and disinformation, the British colonial rulers also started doing the same thing about Russia. They started creating panic among the Indians that as if that Russia is going to invade India. And also some very, very negative approach and attitude shown against Peter the Great and his family, as if Peter the Great was very famous for his debauchery or immoral life of living. People didn't believe that much, but some people definitely were getting interested in it. At the same time, when these things were going on till 1832, a year before in 1831, an eminent Calcuttan, famous as Raja Ram Mohan Roy, visited London. And there, the Christian United Christian Society, Unitarian Christian Society, I'm sorry to say, Unitarian Christian Society organized a civic reception for Raja Ram Mohan Rai, where the chief editor of the Westminster Tribune spoke welcoming Raja Ram Mohan Roy, comparing him with Peter the Great. He mentioned that Peter the Great went out of his country beyond his borders, beyond the borders of Russia, and started knowing more about different countries, different religion, different style of living of people in many other countries. Ram Mohan Rai also came to England to know more about the people in other countries. Ram Mohan Rai was famous because he created a sensation in India as a social reformer. He was a social reformer and created even a new religion which said about to believe in one God, not in many. So he was not liked by many Indians even. And when he went against the burning of widows along with the dead husband at the pyre, he was furious against it. He started creating a movement against this brutal practice. And later on, he became successful. About this great person like Ram Mohan Roy, in 1845, we find that in the Russian journal, which was known as Отчезванные Zapiski, and they published an article in details about the religion in India, and there they mentioned about Raja Ram Mohan Rai, his role in society, and also about his book which was published in 1832. And that proved that the Russian authorities, particularly of the Russian Academy of Sciences, was very much eager to know more about the culture, about the religion, about the day-to-day life, and about the history of India. And on occasion of this anniversary celebration of Asiatic Society, in 1845, the Asiatic Society received a letter of appreciation from the Russian Academy of Science and the Ministry of Education, and from Ministry of Education, a gold chain with gold medallion was presented to Asiatic Society to show respect to them. And then we found that after 1845, when during this time, when another person like Raja Rajendra Mitra published about the history of Russian state, who became the first Indian president or the chairperson of the Asiatic Society. And to tell you very frankly that his chair is still kept today with great honor to him. So Rajendra Mitra published this book, and following him, there were many other publications. In 1857, the Russian authority received a book, particularly in 7 volumes of the book. It's a translation, or I mean, the dictionary of Sanskrit language. And that created a big sensation among the scholars in Russia, because that was a kind of a thing which was never before to them. And it was in 7 volumes. It was the work of, for 30 years, which Raja Radhakanto Dev did. And the name of his publication was Shabdo Kalpodrum, which is a unique one even till today. And Shabdo Kalpodrum was a very much supportive material for the Russian scholars. For that, they sent a letter of appreciation to Radhakanto Dev, and Radhakanto Dev received the appreciation letter and also sent back another letter for a Thanksgiving letter to the Russian Academy of Sciences. And Russian Academy of Sciences invited him to become the first member from India as an Indian. And this Raja Radhakanto Dev became the first Indian to be the member of the Imperial Academy of Sciences of Russia. And he was also presented with a gold chain and the gold medallion. After him came the Biprodash Bandyopadhyay, who also published about the history of Russian state in a different angle with different view, which was also very famous in those days. And later on, so many other people came out in support or to know more about the Russia and to tell more about India to the Russian people. Among them were few European missionaries. We'll speak about them in our next session. Till then, we say goodbye to you and we say Dasvidanya Punardarshanaya. Namaskar.